This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. So, we got through it. We made it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. President Trump will be back in the White House soon, God willing. He's gotten us this far. I don't think we're being abandoned just yet. Now it's time for action. Putin's already on the phone. Apparently, Zelensky's reached out. I seen something that Biden wanted to have lunch, but I didn't see that enough times to actually say this is something we need to pay attention to. But wow, and in my wildest dreams, I just couldn't imagine this. When RFK got onto the scene, and I listened to this book right here. I thought, how amazing would that be if he joined with Trump? Because he was asked, would he ever be Trump's VP? He was asked that early on, and he said, my wife would divorce me. Anyway, back on the... I'm trying to get back. So, I think I got a new... my equipment failed. That's why I'm this late. For sure. That's why I haven't put on any content. So, if you actually do watch me on a semi-regular basis, I apologize for that. But I have slowed down because I kept losing recordings. And I should have known it was the device, but the device actually fully failed on me. So now I got a replacement. Now I'm up and going. So hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from now on. So here's a few things I wanted to go over. It's a revolution, folks. It's a revolution for everybody. Time to make our government responsible to us and stop selling us out. Shit, folks, this isn't going very well. I had some headphones problems. Anyway, okay, so everything's recording. So, funny guy Alex Stein, who has an infatuation with, I almost said Kamala Harris, AOC. It's not the same. Kamala Harris was not a bad-looking lady in her day, for sure. And, for 60, I suppose she's just fine if she can lay off the booze. But this...
We love you, Madam Vice President.
Dude, that dude should be hired on Saturday Night Live. Assuming he's not insane. So, if it came down to one state, it was going to come down to Pennsylvania. Now, it didn't come down to one state at all. We lied too. Because it was a landslide. But, and it's crazy. So, the electoral map wasn't done correctly, and it's crazy. It has been more of a story. So because of all the fleeing from California and New York and other northeastern states to southern, more conservative states like Florida and Texas, they gained quite a few electoral votes. And then if that gets ironed out, and then the next 4 years continue with the current trends of demographics that started voting more conservatively in this election, it's over. The Democratic Party will be a fringe party. They'll represent cities and, less and less. Like, the zone will go smaller and smaller. And that's fine. Those people in cities deserve representation too. They just shouldn't control everyone else. We want a little bit. Human beings want more space. We don't want to be on top of each other in apartments. And I live in an apartment. It's only a 3-story apartment, and I probably shouldn't give details about where I live. There's crazies out there. But anyway, a lot of people put a lot of sweat and tears and a lot of hard work into getting Donald Trump elected. No more so than himself. That man never stopped. He's an inspiration. There's stupid shit he says he shouldn't say, man. I don't know. But he just never stops. He doesn't like repeating himself. We find out. So he just everything, so many of his policies are battle tested. Remember he said about a year ago, he said every college degree should have a green card attached to it. And they booed him and he never said it again. These policies, what he promotes is what gets cheers at his rallies because he likes people cheering for him. Okay? So immigration, that's why that's number one, because that's what everyone wants that to be. It doesn't matter what you think. And we're seeing the consequence of that. But anyway, one man, Scott Presler from, I don't know where he's from. I looked, the last time I had audio problems, when the device actually broke, I did an episode on Scott Presler alone. And I found one article that wasn't very flattering about something in his past. We all make mistakes. And the publication wasn't that of one that would give him a very flattering review of his life. So, I take that with a grain of salt. And either way, I'm a Christian. I believe in redemption. And he went everywhere he could to register people to vote. And the crazy thing is, at first, I didn't see it at first, and but it became more and more evident the more I seen him is he's a gay feller, and which makes kind of what he did even a little more astonishing. It shouldn't. Courage comes in all forms. That doesn't matter at all. But he went and was approaching. Truckers and Amish and gun store owner, gun owners, hunters, stuff like that. Not places typically where gay fellas, you're gonna find a lot of them. And he went in there without fear. And I've never seen. People are assholes. So I'm sure he came across some assholes. But I never heard anything reported of any really harsh treatment that he received from people like that aren't like him. And it's awesome. That's man. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably half ignorant, but I don't know. I give that aspect of who he is and what he did, I think took a little bit more courage than it would take for somebody like myself. Because I go into those places, gun stores and stuff. I used to sell guns. I'm, fine. The hunter stuff, I have hunted. I just have not been. I did not try it early enough in my life where it became a passion. And I definitely want to, but with this podcast and all the other things I try to do, it's so hard because I work 2 jobs, so it's to take a weekend and just devote that to hunting. It would be fun, which is right now I just can't, and but I don't feel all my family are hunters. I just kind of didn't get introduced to it when I was a kid, and I did get interested, and I've never actually taken an animal. I've never even fired my weapon at an animal, actually. I never had a chance to, I was down, but I hasn't come across this yet. But anyway, quick little video here is Scott Presler talking at Luzerne County. Actually, we're going to skip that. It's fine, but he's much better. The Trump rally. So it's when Trump went back to Butler for the second time. So this was cool. And then later that night, he was interacting with Elon Musk on Twitter quite a bit. It was just like, oh man, what a cool story. But anyway.
That you've heard of someone who's been doing so much voter registration right here in Pennsylvania. His name is Scott Presler. And he has done an incredible job. We have flipped Bucks County and Luzerne County from Democrat to Republican in terms of voter registration. And I would like to invite my friend Scott Presler to come up and say a few words to you folks, if you would welcome
Laura
him,
Trump is
please, to the
dynamic.
stage right now.
Like, I don't remember her. I don't think she was involved in the first go round. I think she just got involved this go round, and she's dynamic. I was just watching her on Patrick Bet David, and then she was great when she went on Charlemagne Breakfast Club.
I wish I didn't wear shorts today. Mom and Dad, I honor you on the stage today, Captain Robert Presler and my mom, Carol Presler. Pennsylvania, you have the power to change the world. Pennsylvania wins the White House, and so please, I ask you today, please check your voter status. Make sure you're an active voter registered at your current address. And please visit vote.
I didn't actually do that. I had friends who did.
A message.
Because I remember getting, I mean, I got something
to
from the
our
primary,
union
so.
workers. We want your vote. We want to keep
should've.
jobs here in America.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Scott. I got a story. So I went to go vote. Like, normally where I would go vote is right down the street at this Mormon-esque church in that world, something like that. And no problems or anything. And then this time it was further, like twice as far away at this like outdoor mall, fancy little outdoor mall we have here. It's like, okay, like, is that because they're expecting bigger crowds? Well, I mean, I had to walk a lot farther to get there than I normally would have, which, okay, whatever, it was nice out. And I walked right in, but I go in there and I'm like, trying to look around. There's even, I mean, it's a lot smaller than the last place I voted. I'm trying to find a good place to go vote, and like, I wear contacts now. I don't see really good at night. And I go to this place and like it had mood lighting. And like I'm straining to see, and like can't see the ballot. They said it's automatic timing. Funny. I'm like, do you guys have like, is this, I'm missing something? There's somewhere like we can see it in here? And like I mean, there's kind of an older community where I live too, so I'm sure there's a lot of older folk who, I don't know how well they did filling out the ballot. But I say some of the poll workers, and they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, like, here's like the premium spot that you can get out your phone and like use the light if you want, which I mean, I did, and it helped a little bit. But like, I don't know how perfect my little circles were. You know, I hope my vote counted. But Ann Wagner is my congressman. I did not vote for her. I was almost tempted for the Democrat, but I didn't want to chance it because I had no idea how that was going to go. But I did not vote for her. She hangs out in Switzerland and shit with the World Economic Forum crowd. I don't know. She has no business doing that where I live. I can't have any. I mean, I'm sure there's some connection, but I don't have any clue what it is. Like, what resource would be in this district. But anyway, I assume she won. But anyway, and like pretty quickly, like this, this lady comes up to me, sweet little lady. She's like, just, I'm sorry you're having problems. Whatever you need to do, get out your phone. But the owner of this building is an election official, and we can't do anything at this automatic light timer. And like the legit lights turned off, and it was just the mood lady. And real quick, give me his name and phone number, so I may stir some stuff up. But I haven't done so yet. Actually, I've been kind of busy. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. But yeah, it was bullshit. It was bullshit. I mean, like, that was voter interference. It was like he was making it. He made it difficult for me to vote. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. So I will be trying to stir some shit up online. Facebook's good for that.
To our beautiful Amish and Lancaster and across the state, we will protect your raw milk, your dairy, your farming, your school choice, your religious freedom, your ability to afford to have 10 beautiful children per family. To our hunters, 30% of you are not registered to vote. Please, our hunters, support the Second Amendment.
This doesn't make any
Register to
sense.
vote. To our truckers that service us every single day, please request a mail-in ballot or vote early. Lock in those votes. To our sorority sisters and our fraternity brothers, please, you have the power. If you're going to school here in Pennsylvania, register to vote legally and lawfully here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I feel this from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I love our great country. President Trump took a bullet for us. Please use your ballot and have his back on Tuesday, November 5th, and deliver Pennsylvania for Donald J. Trump. Thank you.
So after all this hard work, there was a pledge, like a secret like GoFundMe to raise money for him. I don't really know what happened to it. Never heard him respond or say anything about it, so I don't know if that happened or not. Since they did GoFundMe, I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped it. Anyway, this is Scott voting. Joe Biden says we are garbage. Well, this piece of garbage voted for Trump in Pennsylvania. See, and I get it, and especially the fact that he said it like right around Halloween. That was like perfectly timed for us to use that against them. But like, I have a deplorable shirt, and that's my favorite shirt. Really, I'm not calling myself garbage. I'm not doing that. Nope, do not call me garbage. I am not garbage. Human beings are not garbage. And that's why that joke didn't hit. I mean, the implication, like, and they do have a garbage problem there, but how many people know that? Like that was the opener? Like, what? Like, unless there was more said. Actually, I honestly don't know if that was the opener. That was the first thing and the only thing I ever heard. But Scott Presler says here, I've done everything I can. Moved to Pennsylvania, launched an organization, hired 70 field staff, flipped Pennsylvania counties from blue to red, cut blue voter registration in half, pushed early voting message, cultivated 1,000 volunteers, and not only that, but the Senate seat got flipped. I think that's probably due to him more than even Trump winning the state. I mean, not take a single credit away from him, just because I think after getting shot, it was like in Pennsylvania, it was very likely that he would win it. Like, but that Senate seat that got flipped in there, I don't think that was supposed to happen, and I would say that Scott should get a lot of credit on that. Since I'm training right now, he's an Eagle Scout, marriage of his parents, dog walker, Baltimore. Okay, it's quick and to the point. You changed my life. Thank you, Elon. You changed my life. You changed the world. Thank you, truly. Hope to meet you one day. And they did on stage at the rally, I believe. I guess not, actually, because that was 2 days ago. Yes, thank you, Elon. Thank you, Elon. I've never had as much admiration for a human being than Donald Trump and Elon Musk, both separately but equally, like what they're doing right now and what they've done. I mean, what Elon's just done in his career is quite impressive, but like just business wise, it's very impressive. It's like it's really cool, interesting. And in fact, he's like kind of autistic and he's a white fella from South Africa. It's extra funny on it. But like, I mean, what did it for me when he said his full name is elongated muskrat? I was like, when I seen that tweet, I'm like, okay, maybe he's not so bad. But to see this change and what he did for free speech, like, yeah, we do all owe him they would have suppressed so much if we wouldn't have had this outlet to get out the truth. Elon saved this country but that for another day. This is the video that changed my life. All right, let's watch, Scott.
Why are illegal immigrants more important than Americans? I'd like to hear an answer. Why are illegal immigrants more important than homeless people sleeping on the streets? Why do we in one of the biggest economies here in California take care of illegal immigrants, but our people are sleeping on the streets? I'd like to hear an answer to that. Why? Nobody can ever answer that question. Why don't people put American citizens first, but illegal immigrants get everything? And I hope you post this. I want this to go viral because I give a damn and I care about my community. My dad is a retired Navy captain. He served our country honorably. My grandfather was a retired Navy captain, and I'm doing my part to help our country. The Democrat Party does not put our people first. They put sanctuary cities first. They put illegal aliens first. They tax us. They tax our water. You can't even do laundry and shower on the same day. While Nancy Pelosi is getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, robbing our pockets, not doing anything for our people, not passing legislation, passing out pens like they're candy.
I never seen that. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. But Scott, take a well-rested vacation. Rest up for the rest of the year. You're a patriot, sir. But we need more from you. We really do. Because we need one of you in every state. We need one of you in every county. We can't give up on New York and California. I really thought Trump was going to win New York. But, I mean, they made progress. We have to keep fighting. So the RNC should hire this guy. What he sacrificed for Donald Trump, they should give him a job. And he needs to find one of him in every state. At least, you know. He needs to create a network. But then we need one other thing. We need people to go be able to go rogue. Scott, we need to write you. We need you to write a book on what you did. I mean, you could even like make it like a personal biography and how to do what you did, the impact you made. Like that would be kind of interesting. I mean, if you want to share parts of your life, you know that. I mean, I would read that or listen to it. I wouldn't read it. I would listen to it, but I would. We need to start fighting because of this. This is their playbook, and it came up short this time. But they're not going to abandon it, man. Like, so we got to keep on fighting. So Scott, you know, if you see this or you know Scott, we got to get the word out there. We need a book, and hopefully Laura Trump, I mean, who introduced him at that, gets him a job at the RNC. If what I read was true, we make mistakes, man, and he sacrificed. Like that's insane if you let what I read about before, like, if you can't forgive that, I mean, Donald Trump certainly didn't do the things that he's, been accused of in the court of law, I don't believe. But he's no saint. I don't believe the Stormy Daniels things, but I mean, he's had 3 wives. He's probably had 3 wives for a reason, and I think he's in, listen, don't tell Melania, but I think he's in love with Megyn Kelly. I do. He's in love with Megyn Kelly. I guarantee you. So, Scott, thank you. And keep fighting, brother. Thank you very much. We owe you a debt of gratitude. I'm going to switch it up. I've been doing like smaller videos. This time, I'm not. I'm going to do a longer video, and I'm going to cut it up in pieces. And that's the best way for me to get multiple pieces of content in a week. It's just, the fact that YouTube was not showing my videos, and things have been slowing down because I should have replaced this device earlier. And I guess that's why I could lose episodes. And I would like put this time into it, and I would, my enthusiasm waned. But now, so I mean, and I was all excited because I really thought like everyone else, like all the legit, big podcasts were like, yeah, with the election coming up, ratings are going to go through the roof. And I was like, well, maybe I can catch on a little of that, to help grow. And I did not. When it got to be election season is when I slowed down. So live with TikTok. What would you like to see Trump do on his first day of office? So I thought about it. And I want to see if I missed anything. So what I said was, day one, pardon every nonviolent January 6er. But I don't think that should have to happen. But I think Trump should act to make that happen earlier. Let's get these people out of prison now. He's having lunch with Biden. That's the time to say, hey, you need to release the nonviolent ones. And the ones that are violent, I will look at when I take office. That's what should happen. And that needs to happen now. He's creating peace around the world. Hamas, the Houthis. Is that? I don't think that's right. The Houthis. Is that right? Anyway, number 2, declare the cartels terrorist organizations. They are invading our country. They are shipping poison into our country. That's a terrorist organization. And then revoke the security clearance for the 51 Intel officials that said the Hunter Biden laptop was fake. Well, so what if Colin Ruggs has announced Project 25 is the new law of the land? It's been great because they've been freaking out about that on the left. Like they really, okay. And the war in Ukraine, I think that'll be done before election day, before the first day in office. But I think that might take him to actually go there. It's possible, but I don't know if he can do that before. But I think it'll probably be done before, or it'll be. They may stop the fighting, and then once he gets in office, they're going to declare peace with a deal. That's what I can see happening. So Ian Miles Chong said, end the war in Ukraine Institute. I think that'll be done beforehand. Putin's already reached out. They'll probably stop fighting soon, and then when Trump takes office, they'll actually do a formal deal. That's what I think will happen. Which then they're going to accuse Trump. See, that's the next move. They'll say, no, they had it wrong the whole time. He wasn't Putin's stooge. Putin's his stooge, and he invaded Ukraine because he told him to. Institute, that shit's dying out. That should not be part of any government program. Oh, that's what he says. Department in government. Yep, agree. So I missed that one. Terminate the Department of Education. Originally, it was like a very, very, very small department. It had like 10 people. Maybe less. Maybe more. I mean, perhaps, but just wind it down. I don't think you can just. I mean, you can't just end it. Like you got to wind it down, and you can't let college just keep having these giant endowments and then all this debt. Like I don't know. I don't know how you can. If you can somehow threaten their tax exemption because of these endowments, then maybe you can get a deal where all these student loan debts that Biden forgave, you make via these universities. Like I think like Harvard possibly has like $1 billion endowment. Okay, it's like okay, it's time to start paying these bills down, folks. Fire every Obama Biden holdover. Yes, I would agree with that. I mean, you can't do that on the first day, man. That you you create chaos that way. You have to disassemble it. Keep some of the parts. Some of the parts be useful. Juanita Broderick. There you go. Which he missed. Like he didn't say that. I mean, and the Fed. Trump cannot do that. Deport every illegal. You can't. I mean, obviously it's an operation that's going to take a very long time because a lot of them are not going to go willingly. And federal income tax. Well, then you have to end the government unless you have another way of funding it. So you have to. I mean, maybe the tariff things would work. But you can't like do one with it, dude. And destroy the CIA and FBI. You can defund it, but apparently they have, at least the CIA has alternative income sources already, so no surprise. Yeah, we need a museum to the last 4 years as like in every city, like a retrospective of like, you go and you have to go, I mean like almost like make like an annual patronage there. You have to just go there and kind of lower your head and like look at what our country turned into for 4 years. Start deportations and finishing the wall. I mean, you can't like just the first day. He can't like he'll have. I mean, whoever he has in place, but the people who need. I don't know the whole confirmation process. Is that going to happen before he's sworn in, or does that happen after he's sworn in? Because otherwise, and the confirmation process should be done by the new Congress. So maybe I bet you they take office before Inauguration Day. Then they do the approvals. Susan Wiles, it was just announced, is going to be his chief of staff, which I'm disappointed because I was really hoping for Vivek Ramaswamy. He seems like just an executive type, like he could be his go-to lackey, like, hey, get this done, you get that done, but maybe they can. Maybe they're going to make him senator. Maybe he's going to take Vance's spot. I mean, that's certainly possible. Because otherwise, the governor is not a big Trump guy. So he's probably not going to pick a real hardcore conservative. But she has a lot of experience. And I looked her up. I mean, I just read it on Wikipedia. But it just says she's been involved in a lot of campaigns. She worked for Reagan campaign many years ago. She's worked as chief of staff for other politicians, and she was like his campaign manager of Florida in 2016, and then she helped get Ron DeSantis elected governor, and she's the first female chief of staff. And you know what? I almost guarantee you, Donald Trump didn't know that. I'd be shocked. Annex Canada to America. We have immeasurably corrupt regime. Oh, so it's a Canadian. I love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, take your resources and your nature, and we'll protect that. And then because we need I mean, secure the southern border, but we can't ignore the northern border. We can't trust Canada to take care of our safety. So I mean, no, we either need a wall either we need a wall up or the ocean. Like those are the boundaries that a country should have, like ours. The Epstein and Diddy list, yeah. I don't know if that's necessarily on day one. All he has to do is tell border security to do their jobs. Do your jobs 100%. Hire more agents if need be. Maybe cops from cities that aren't allowed to police. Maybe they'd make good border control agents. They'll change of career. Maybe move down south. Wouldn't be so bad. So I think there's one that I should have added to mine, but I think my list kind of covers it. I think the war will be over in Ukraine, and honestly, if that's day 1 or day 7, like I mean, it's not, as long as we don't have American troops on the ground there. I mean, I think it's again, let's focus on us. That'll probably be called off before he takes office, and then he can get to the signing of the deal. So, it's been like over a year since I've been on a date. Yeah, the online stuff. I'm gonna give it another try on Facebook dating here soon, and then just be completely straightforward that I'm not like rushing anything. I'm gonna take my time. I mean, I haven't done that in a very long time, and it's just maybe I'll better. Maybe things will go better. Maybe my mindset being changed, that taking that off the table. I mean, it's not. I want desire back in my life, and just dropping your drawers, and in the bedroom. It's I mean, yeah, certainly can be fun sometimes. I mean, it kind of leaves me empty, too. And
what has happened? What is wrong?
This is why. Women apparently shaving their heads in protest. They are saying they're not going to lay down with guys anymore, and it's like, well, first off, you wouldn't be interested in the ones who voted for Trump anyway. Like, that was when I kind of had it for dating, because I probably said much of this on before, but this Christian woman, she was okay looking, like, but I wasn't really attracted to her, not overly, and I was like, well, but, if I get to know her and, like, she'll become more attracted to me, if I get to know her personality. She said she was a Christian, and I mentioned this podcast, and we were just going to talk on the phone, and then she, like, unmatched me and blocked me, and it's like, okay, like, message received. God forbid. But maybe she was like this woman.
On with you. I can't do this anymore. I'm literally sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom?
It happened, and it's happening.
This is a message to anyone who follows.
Okay. So she had a cut. She had to compose herself, or I don't know. Action.
For Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The fact that it's this close
Cut.
means I've lost all hope in the American people. Like, it should not be this close. Why would anyone vote for this person? He's so evil. He's so demented. Kamala's not perfect. We all know that. We all know that. She is not a convicted felon, rapist, crazy, fascist, dictator, psycho. What is wrong with you?
Oh wow. I'd like to, find somebody to hang out with time to time, but man, I mean, more and more, I think it's like, I don't know, I go to church on Saturday nights and fishing sometimes, see some family here and there, and maybe that's my life. I mean, that's not a horrible life. I mean, I love my family. All right, let's continue here. I'm back. I was in the middle of recording last night. My phone died. I'm finishing up. It's not one thing, it's another. But it was another glorious day. Just with the reactions on the podcast, it is just so much joy. I never thought Trump being reelected. I mean, and there's still obstacles. The Democrats aren't just going to like jump on board. They're not going to like just be a team player. And supposedly they arrested some assassins. I haven't seen this. I mean, I've seen the story, but I haven't like listened to it. So we've got that to deal with. But anyway, back to it. Is the last few things I wanted to finish up. Calvin Rugg, and you're going to see things like this right here. In 2004, Democrat John Kerry got 59 million. These are all Democratic votes. 2008, Barack Obama, the first black man to run for president, or not run, but like at the Jesse Jackson ran before. I don't know how far he got. I think he's just to the primary. But anywho, Barack Obama, the first legit contender to be president of the United States of a man of color, he drew in 69 million votes. I mean, the movement was big then. I mean, it was big. And, how I feel right now with Donald Trump was just crazy. I mean, the first time I was shocked. Like, he actually beat Hillary. I was shocked. I had resigned. And then shocked that he lost the second time. And now it's joy. It is joy. And especially if you're, a person of color, and not knowing if your country is open-minded enough to elect somebody like that. And not just a black man. His name wasn't, Bob Smith, the black guy, or Larry Jones, the black guy. This is Barack Obama, a Muslim name. Not that saying he is Muslim, but his dad is. And I'm sure it was just a slip of the tongue when he said that he was. But either way, I digress. It had to feel the same. And I couldn't, I mean, I knew, I couldn't, I got it. Like, I wasn't, ignorant to the fact that how it did mean something. His election did certainly mean something to people. But I never knew what it felt like, because I've never felt what I feel right now. So then comes re-election, and he's not a very good president. He loses 3 million votes, but still wins. Hillary Clinton, the chance for the first female president, and people weren't as excited about that, or her, just generally as a person. And she got 66 million votes, so tying the previous here. Then Joe Biden takes on Donald Trump during a pandemic and gets 81 million, 15 million more votes than Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Joe Biden. Okay, well, I guess that's the new standard. I mean, Trump is not the most likable person to a lot of people. I can't say that I don't understand that. I do. I really respect the man, but there's certain times where I can't really listen to him talk very long. He can be kind of annoying, and if you're from the left and that's where you get your news, like, you don't really have a source to treat that covers Trump objectively and still gives you left-wing news. Like, that doesn't exist. It is all propaganda from everything I've seen. And that's the problem. You don't have to like Trump, but you don't have to think he's Hitler either. There is in between. Like, there are reasons to dislike him. There's reasons I don't like him. It's not the same. And there's reasons that libertarians don't like him. And then there's reasons that everyone else don't like him. The left. But even if there's people who don't like him that don't realize that they've obtained all their information from the left, and that's why they don't like him. But Kamala Harris, okay, so now another swing at the first female president, and she's a woman of color, so you add that in the mix. So what does she do? She gets 67 million. So more than Obama and Clinton, the second Obama, and more than Hillary Clinton. Because that's hard to understand because the 67 million people voted for that woman. But where did all those millions of people go that voted for Biden and didn't vote for her? Was Biden that much of an attractive candidate? That's something we need to continue to ask. Because those numbers don't lie. So from the Huffington Post, Trump won, and that means Project 2025 is here. It's so amazing. It's so good. I love it because there is a lot of people. See, the Huffington Post knows better, and they are freaking young people, especially young people, out. Stressing them out. There's videos, endless videos to watch of young women having emotional meltdowns. That's something that's nothing to worry about. I mean, yeah, there probably is things that are in there that may end up happening, but like one key section of Project 2025 applies to the entire executive branch. Trump's plan to purge the entire government of civil servants who aren't loyal to him. Well, it is the executive branch. And I don't know what role that Vindman fellow who just won a congressional seat, I don't know what role he had in the White House, but he is the one who started the whole quid pro quo or whatever phone call with the Ukrainian leader. Yeah, the courts, yeah. He's going to have 4 years to appoint more judges. Mitch McConnell said Yelver would regret that. And yes, he's going to get 2 more Supreme Court justices. So it'll lean to the right for the next 20 years or so. And then what happens with Sotomayor and Roberts after that? You know, then because I think Gorsuch is generally conservative, but not completely. There's been some decisions he's made I haven't liked. Amy Coney Barrett is barely, and Kavanaugh is barely a little bit more. From what I've seen on their decisions, they're not hardcore, and we're losing the 2 hardcore conservatives on the court. I hope one of those is filled by Ted Cruz. Anyway, I didn't really want to get into this whole 2025 thing, but yeah. See, Trump says he wants to eliminate the Department of Education. Project 2025 just wants to reform it. Healthcare. That is something that needs to be addressed. I don't know what they're going to claim here, but kind of irrelevant. But that needs to be an issue because the Democrats can't run on racism again. If this next 4 years are successful, people aren't going to want to hear that shit. When things are rough, it's easier to draw out those emotions in people. So they could circle back to healthcare, which is a legitimate area that we need to look at. And since 2009, when Obamacare was put in place, the Republicans have been talking about repealing and replacing it. And they had 4 years under Trump, 2 of which I guess he had all houses, the Senate and House of Representatives. Didn't do anything. And there hasn't been any talk about doing anything this time. This time, though, we will become healthier if things go like they're sounding. That I heard somewhere that Bobby Kennedy met with Trump for 8 hours in Mar-a-Lago. Now we can assume who was doing most of the talking, but still, good stuff. Good stuff. And apparently, he advised him not to pick Rubio too much. Like, that's too much of a neocon. Which, like, Rubio doesn't seem that bad. So, like, if that's the standard, it's less war. That's a good thing. And then, but that needs to be, the Republicans cannot be trailing behind on that in 2028. They need to be on the forefront with their own plan that they're ready to implement once our country has been put on the right track by Bobby Kennedy to become more healthy. That will lower costs anyway and have less burden on the system, especially if we remove people from this country that go to hospitals that hospitals are required to treat but cannot charge. So that will help. And I hope those people go back to their own country and demand change and change their own country. I mean, I have a heart. And lastly, Rudy Giuliani. It's morning again in America. It actually happened, folks. It actually happened. And I'm going to finish with Benny Johnson. In conclusion, the New York Times should understand what time it is. We are not the Romney, Bush, Cheney, McConnell Republicans who cower in the corner wetting ourselves over the threat of a New York Times piece. We fight back. Thank you for supporting our work. We will win. The New York Times sent out text messages, and I think the Washington Post even followed up, and also we're going to try to do their own thing. But basically, tried to threaten a bunch of conservative podcasters, and then they were going to write a smear piece and try to get YouTube to demonetize them. And all of them told them to get lost. YouTube actually stood up and said, hey, they haven't violated any rules. And the left is scared to death right now. They've seen that they don't have the influence. Celebrities can't influence us anymore. CNN doesn't influence anymore. MSNBC doesn't influence us. They called us Nazis. They called us garbage. They called us deplorables. They called Trump Hitler for the last 2 years. I mean, it wasn't the last 4 because really, last 2. He was gone for a while, and then he came back, and he's been calling him a Nazi for 2 years. People ignored it and voted. They're panicked because they've lost control and they know it. It's over. That's why Trump has to hit the road running, has to start getting stuff done in day one, real stuff, undeniably good things for American citizens, start proving it, and there'll be no looking back. So, folks, this has been a great week. I will see you next time. Celebrate. Love your neighbor. We got a lot more of that coming. Thanks. I'll see you again.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!